On October 17, 2009, the Democratic Club of Sunnyvale hosted a talk by retired Assembly member Sally Lieber on how to get a bill through the California Legislature. This video is the second of two excerpts from her talk.
The next bullet point. Never, ever. There's certain things to never, ever say, because they can be the kiss of death for something. What I want to hear from somebody is, I've identified a problem that is causing people to suffer, and I've found a way to fix it and make it better, and less people will be suffering this way. And I think you could really help people and make things work better by pursuing this idea. Our last point relates a little bit to what I've already said, if at first. Now, I don't think that anybody should be disappointed because they try a bill and it doesn't get through the legislature in 1 year. Now, that's kind of an extraordinary thing. There are 38 million Californians. Everybody has ideas. A few people come forward with their ideas and try to push them through the system. But it is still kind of an extraordinary thing when you think about it, to get a bill through the legislature, get it signed by the governor. I wanted to show you, and I won't go through all of it, but just wanted to show you on one of the handouts that we have, the two-sided one, about AB 1774. Now, this is the actual background sheet that we submitted to the Health Committee about the bill. So it asks questions like, what does the bill do? So with your bill idea, I would make sure that you can say in at least one run-on sentence like this is about what the bill does. If it's way too complicated and arcane to get it on a piece of paper, it's not going to meet the needs of the attention span of most folks in Sacramento. Describe the deficiency in existing law. Now, you wouldn't have to have code citations and such, but I think it's good to have done the background research to know that the current law is deficient in some way. I would say that about 2/3 of the bill suggestions that came into our office were already laws in California. So it's a little bit uncomfortable, somebody has a great idea and they're totally fired up, but they just didn't actually Google it to see that it already exists. So doing a little bit of precursory research. Why is the bill needed?
So it would be kind of nice to walk through the process, right? So I know that Jerry has an idea for solar power in neighborhoods. Would you like to talk about that one?
About a year and a half ago, there was a lot of controversy about the fact that they tried to, or that the court forced some people to cut some redwood trees because people wanted to put a solar panel on their roof and the trees were shading them. So I thought that it should be a better way to do that, which would be having neighborhood cooperation, where people sign on to a partnership agreement and then you find the area where the most opening for the sun is, and then everybody can share in the power. The only problem is that PG&E's got a regulation, or the state has a regulation, that you can't move that power across border or property lines. So what we have to do is change the law to allow property lines to be integrated and be part of the partnership agreement, so to speak.
So looking at that, like my immediate reaction as a potential person who would be looking to author bills would be, solar bill is good. It's very, very pressing right now because of global warming. It's an idea that I have not heard before coming up. So it's something that would be attractive from that perspective, I would start thinking about the folks who would be support or opposition. So support would potentially be Sierra Club, environmental organizations. Opposition would probably be the League of California Cities, and possibly the counties, because they deal with property lines kinds of issues. I would start thinking about, is there a way to do it like through giving condo associations the ability to do that? And so a lot of the housing developments throughout California have these big shed areas for parking. And the roofs of those common areas are essentially already owned by everybody. And so I would start looking to research, does PG&E allow those kind of associations to install solar and have it come out of individual bills? And I think that it's an idea that's very viable, because it's clearly something that the governor is interested in. He became a great supporter of AB 32, the global warming bill. And so I think it's something that could definitely be pursued. I always kind of think of, like, how can you get what you want without taking on the forces of darkness fully frontally in all of their evil? And so that's why I think, like, condo associations, is that possible? Is there a way to do it that would be the easiest way possible, that would get the most energy from solar? But I think it's a good idea. It's something that could really have legs, definitely. Yeah. So I want to thank you so much. And I see that I'm getting the hook, and I'm going to be allowed to go out and precinct walk in Sunnyvale today and to discover those Sunnyvale stories. So I want to thank you so much for having me here, and I hope that everybody develops some kind of great idea between now and the end of January and gets it into the process, because it would be really exciting if we each submitted a bill idea or two. So thanks so much for having me here.
Well, thanks so much for coming, Sally. I hope you can stay for a few minutes afterwards and take people's questions.